And I just don't know what we're going to do. I just don't know what we're going to do without St. Catharine and, people that are here living in this community that want to give back to the community, that have been taught that value of service, and I see that every day here in Washington County and in the surrounding counties. A lot of those people have been touched by St. Catharine in some way, and now they are giving back in return.
I think we have to always keep in mind that we have to trust that there's something larger than ourselves. And I was just thinking, as she said, it was a death in the family. It's been an awfully long funeral, is all I can say, since July to December.
Yes.
But at the same time, when you have a funeral, after the funeral, you usually have to go back into life. And when one door closes, God somehow, I don't know what it'll be, He'll open another window or another door. And we have to trust that. That's what kept the sisters going. At one time, they were supposed to disband. The bishop asked them to disband, and they only had $1,000 debt. But they said, no, we're going to go on. We don't know how, but we're going to go on. So somehow, with all of us that have the kind of the vision and the values that were instilled in us from those older sisters, somehow we have to trust that together we will be given another door to open or another window to let in new light. And we just have to do that in life. When someone dies, we have to carry on. It's a death and a funeral, and then we get up and we keep walking, and at the time you think you can't, you just don't know how you're going to do it, but somehow it does. And I think that's the thing we have to hold on to. It's not an easy thing. It hasn't been easy watching the trucks leaving, and you're saying, well, what are we going to do with those empty buildings, Somehow, all of us that have been touched by it are going to have to keep talking, keep thinking, and eventually another door or another window will open, and we'll be able to do something else that we can't see now. Because how did anything start? It just started with an idea, and then eventually it grows. So that's what I keep hoping. I've had lots of hopes and they still haven't come to fruition, but we have to keep hoping. That's trusting that God is leading us to do something else that needs to be done, but we don't know what it is.
Well,
could he hurry the job?
I know, really.
Can he hurry?
Could we have just gotten another college to come in there?
That's what we're hoping.
Can't we just get one of our other? We could become a satellite college or something else.
Yeah.
And could they also keep St. Catharine in the name? Or
Yes. Well,
the St. Catharine campus of whatever,
Well, let me tell you the story when we merged. I wanted to keep St. Catharine's name for the merged group because I felt St. Catharine is a perfect model for what we want to do, instill values.
Talk about what year this was. How long was this been?
We merged in 2009, so we had about
the Dominican Sisters of the 6 different orders.
Well, there's
or
seven, eight of us now.
Oh.
But we had, maybe 3 or 4 years before that there was all this talking, and then we got to the point of, well, what are we going to name it, and you confer with everybody. And one of the older sisters said, even the name isn't going to make that much different because you're going to keep doing the same kind of work. We all have the same vision. So that helped me to kind of let go of my little desire.
That was a tough time, too, in transition
it was
and a lot of decision-making.
Well, there's still a lot of decision-making to go. But you know, we.
The name's not all that important, huh?
When you look at all the other decisions that have to be made.
Right.
But the same thing is what you want to do is keep the values.
Exactly.
And
It's become like the New York state of mind. It's the St. Catharine state of mind, I think, and that will remain.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a Dominican state of mind, basically.
yes, that's what it is. Yeah.
Mhm.
We know what you mean.
Yeah.
When you say that of the four pillars of living and praying and
building
studying
community
and the
studying.
community, and these are life skills that we continue to utilize, and that's what makes a vibrant, loving, compassionate community.
Mhm.
I don't mean just the community of the sisters, but our area here,
Mhm.
which was even before we came here over the Cumberland Gap or however we got here. It was a place of reverence and sacred to the Native Americans. I mean, we are here for a reason, surrounded by such a sacred sites with all the different churches that are represented here, and not just the Catholic churches, but the Presbyterian, Methodist, Baptist that have come here, and it is a wonderful place to be from and to be in. And now we need to take those wonderful gifts of the environment. I mean, the Berry Center was such a wonderful hope that we were building together here for sustainable farming. So many things, the inclusiveness of the arts, it made a big difference. And the partnership, the collaborative roles that we were taking between the college and town and the community, we were growing in a positive way. It may be this is just a back set.
Well, I hope you're right on that, Betty, because, you know, first of all, just the education factor in and of itself. You know, now we do have better roads and things these days, but that college played such an important role in the education, as you're saying, Fabian, of the young people in this three-county area, Marion, Washington, Nelson particularly, because of, you know, and this school centered right there to provide an education to people who could not, for various reasons, go off to college somewhere else. And, you know, we're a farming community, first of all, which that you mentioned, Betty, and farming is important to this area. So a lot of students could come here and go to school and then go home and do their
That's right.
do their farm work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was, you know, huge, and to be able to get that college education is, you know, is just so important to. And even though today, you know, they're not emphasizing college as much lately as you all probably see all the time or listen to on the news, you know, or people talk about the cost of college, and so fortunately we do have KCTCS here on the Springfield campus. We're we're happy to have that, but you know, with a liberal arts education, hey, you can't, if you get that opportunity, it certainly broadens your mind, your thinking, your outlook, attitude, values, so many different things. And I've thought about the teachers, Betty, as well as the students. You're talking about the students and what, you know, how they're feeling. And what about all these teachers? I guess you and everybody else. I mean, they're looking for jobs. I mean, you know, I know that some people have gone to some of the other colleges and universities, and I'm glad.
Well, the timing was very hard because we closed without warning and in the spring, and most of these jobs are already filled the fall of the preceding year. So we pretty much knew that we weren't going to be able to get anything in the fall. There's a few things that are starting to come in now of opportunities for next fall. And so really it's a whole year academically. Many professors, instructors have taken what's called adjunct positions, which is just teaching 1 or 2 classes for not a full-time position in other institutions, and which meant traveling, relocating, maybe different things like that. Others have looked outside the box, you know, for things out of academia into other service opportunities or just other jobs. It's an ongoing and very trying experience, and we're not going to replace what we had. That's an impossible dream to think that you can walk into something else that had that sort of charisma and really compassionate community setting that we had. It was unbelievable, and we really did change lives. I'm not just saying that because I was part of teaching, but we all worked together for the success of the student. We wanted them to have a good life, not just a vocation, and to understand that service was a big part of that. And so those gifts and those skills must continue in another way. I don't know exactly what it is. I'm still praying about it and searching, and hopefully something will come to pass. And it hurt the sisters. I can't tell you.
Oh my gosh!
You know, the tears, the praying, just the confusion of it all, because this is their home. What's going on, or what will become, in those buildings right next door are. It's very important to their home.
Exactly. Who's going to be your next door neighbor?
Yeah, right.
And but I'll have to say, every time I get the opportunity to talk to one of the sisters, you always help me. You've been helping me all my life, and you continue to do so because you give me the spirit to succeed. I mean, to believe that somehow or another things are going to go on, and that, you know, something else good, because you have such a wonderful outlook on life, and you're always praying, so that always helps too.
Well, we've prayed, I'm telling you. And I have to say, the college, there was activity, and we had young people and middle-aged and older people even, because I worked with some of them. And they enriched our lives. You know, we were there, but the college enriched our lives, and we hope we enriched theirs. So I think that's what I keep praying for. It's a loss, and we do miss it. You know, I mean, every day you see the empty buildings, and like at Christmas, I said, we don't have the lights on the administration building. There's no sign of Christmas there, so I had to decorate the porch on our side because I thought, well, you know, we need something, and that was all taken care of with the college type of thing. So it's a readjustment of feelings and thoughts and desires and hopes, but we still have to trust.
I'm just thinking of one thing. First time I ever had association with the college.
Oh, really?
In 1940, I'm reading First Communion, and then in May, and they always had a May procession there. I was elected to carry the train for the May Queen there on the front lawn.
Yes. On the front lawn.
Yes. Oh my goodness!
So I mean, just talk about what it meant to her. I said, "Wow, I remember that." Yeah. And you know what? My wife did 16 years, and I got into her secret chest. And she had pictures, and I found a picture of that function. And guess what? I was a little boy. Over here was Flo Sims.
You are kidding me.
Right there now.
Your wife was in that picture you were in 4th grade. I mean, you were in second.
I was in second
grade, and she was in that picture too.
She was in that picture right
and
there.
you didn't even know her at that
Oh,
point.
well, she was a little girl, but boy, by 7th and 8th grade, she blossomed. So that's what, you know.
We don't know
I remember that.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
I went to Nebraska. I'm originally from Nebraska, and the May processions are very much like what they were down here at St. Catherine's, because the Dominicans went there and started an academy there, and they have pictures of these May processions with the flowers, and they're still going. So you don't know where the outreach that goes from one little place.
Exactly.
I remember the Queen. She was Mary McCauley, lived right up here on Doctor Street and High Street.
Mary McCauley.
No,
Well, you know, speaking of you and Flo, if it weren't for St. Catherine, I never would have met my husband.
That's right. Yeah.
That's how I met my husband. So Mike, you know, and so. You know, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who have the same story that they met, and I know lots of people when I was at the college that were dating or started dating there that are now married. Yeah, I thought about the former judge in Marion County, John G. Mattingly, and Janet. They dated, and I mean, I could just think of several people. Lee Ballard, who married Sam Wheatley, both from Washington County and live in Nelson County. Sam was on the board here at St. Catherine, and so you know there are lots of people who not only were down there for the May procession, but in later years, that's where they met their spouses. So, and Fabian, I think you served. Did you serve on some boards or anything at St. Catherine?
No, I did some work for Bill Houston initially, till it got to be. They wanted me full time, and I think I was retired. And I kept saying, "Wait, I'm retired. I'll do a project." And that's all I wanted to do, one project, and then.
So you did a project there.
Yeah.
And you probably have. Do you have something down there, a plaque or something, in memory of, or in honor of, or?
No, well, in honor. I got my picture there in the hallway under.
Oh.
There was just 5 of us, four girls and me.
Oh, really?
In the hallway.
In the hallway there. I can't think what you call that now.
In the St. Catherine.
Where you graduated.
Where we graduated.
Yes.
Well,
Were over in the mother house.
Academy was in the mother house.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you know the hallway upstairs
where
with
all the line of pictures.
Where
St. Catherine's Hall.
St. Catherine's Hall.
Yeah.
So you're in that picture up there.
Yeah.
Well, thank goodness that still belongs to the mother house.
Yeah.
So, and I think people are confused by that too. That you know the mother house still belongs to the Dominican Sisters, and the administration building, which was the former laundry of the Dominican Sisters, still belongs, thank goodness, to the Dominican Sisters, and Lourdes Hall. And those belong to the college.
College, the library in Hamilton Hall, and the dorms.
Library, Hamilton Hall,
athletic field,
the science building.
The science.
They're gone. They're not.
They're not. They're gone. They belong to the college, but the administration building is still part of the mother house. We call it the mother house.
And where your office was, Betty, now yours and that still belongs to the sisters there.
Yes.
And of course, you know, we still have the Mid-Kentucky Arts performing in
St. Catherine's
Hall upstairs there, where I call the old chapel one, and so that's still, luckily, that's still a part of the
And Bertram
sisters.
Hall is part of the Mother House too. That was a dorm and the education
Yeah, that's where
department.
the college girls.
Yes, the college.
Used
dorm.
to-
Is
But
yeah.
that still belongs to us because it's connected to the major building.
Is that stage still up there? The stage, huh? Yeah.
Well, I think that the
And that
stage,
the stage is
they-
gone.
We
Yeah.
renovated, and so now we have
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of.
I played a priest when I was in the college. I played a priest and I was consoling something like, can't remember the term, but.
Well, you know, I was thinking of that, the plays, the musicals at St. Catherine. I was in some at the college, and a lot of the community people in Washington County and Marion and Nelson were in the musicals and the plays as well. So I still think about Johnny Isaacs telling me when he would ride his bicycle down to St. Catherine from town.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he played a kid in one of the, I can't remember if it was The King and I or The Music Man. It might have been The Music Man, a lot of children in that particular show. But I just think of the gifts that, you know, of course now we are lucky in that we have theater
Yeah.
right here in Springfield at the Opera House. And but we had theater down at St. Catherine College and the Academy way before, and you had we had it here in town, and people, so many people in the community were a part of that.
Yeah. Oh, great. You know, they used to have dances, the Academy did.
Oh, that's
You
right.
had- one year, I don't know what happened, there was supposed to be a dance with Mother Julia Poland. That's before she became mother. Little bit.
Yeah, I know her.
Whatever happened, she put out an announcement, there will be no boogieing in the Mother House tonight. No boogieing in the Mother House tonight.
Mother Mary Julia.
She canceled
I
it.
thought I was short, but I think she was about 4'5". And yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, there were some great dances, and so, you know, I just think about, you know, I think about Dr. Toder, who was at the, I'd see him walking down the street. You know, people don't even realize the impact, not only in education that this is having to our community, but the economic value.
Yeah.
You know, all these people that lived here, all these professors and teachers and staff at St. Catherine, they employed, what, 160 people full time, I think. I think it was around that. Is that
right
correct?
about.
It's about that.
And that was full time. That doesn't even count the part time staff. And you think about that, and so I know as a city council person the impact it's going to have on the city's finances, because you talk about occupational tax, that applies to the county as well, and then the people that, you know, were living here and renting and owning, and the students that were eating here and buying here and shopping here, and I mean this is just unbelievable, and I just can't, you know. So not only does it affect us so much emotionally and educationally, and but economically huge as well.
I just want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about it, and those that you said that you had asked that are not ready to talk about it, I believe that's what we need to do. It does two things. It keeps the memory alive, and the joy, the history that we've shared here, keep that alive, and then let's continue to pray and to see what comes next from that. But we need to just keep it going in our heart. And thank you for this opportunity, Lisa, to be able to just chat about it a little
Well, I mean, that is, you know, I agree with you 100% on that, Betty. And then, and in the weeks to come, as I get the opportunity to do interviews on Channel 6, those are things that we'll continue to talk about, because you know, you can't hardly talk to anybody in this community that hasn't had some involvement with St. Catharine. And you know, I would just like for you all to give a little closing remark here today, with it being the Christmas season, and with our belief and hope in the resurrection. Maybe we're going to have a resurrection at St. Catharine. So if you wouldn't mind, Baby, we'll start with you. If you could just say a couple of little things.
Well,
in closing.
I think we all have hope, and I think the world lives on hope. And something good will come. Something good will come of this. I have no doubt about it.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that, Fabian.
Well, this is the Advent season, and we're almost ready to come to Christmas. And the Advent season is a season where we remember our faith ancestors. And in all of the faith ancestors, they carried the trust in God's promise that there would be a Savior come. And through all of their failings and all of their lives, and one after the other. So we go through all of those, David and Solomon and Amos and all the prophets, our faith ancestors, and to help us remember to keep trusting in God's promise, and He will have a resurrection in some way or form.
That's good news. That makes me feel better.
I will follow that with, in this holy season of the birth of Jesus, that we look for a new birth, and that we will reconvene here to celebrate that.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Yes. Stay tuned on Channel 6, Central Kentucky TV, because we are looking to the future, and we are remembering our past, and living in the present, and look forward to what comes in the future.
Well said.
And we'll pray on that.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here today.